Yeah. Welcome to Unified Media Dropping Gems podcast. Let's get it.
Unified Media Dropping Gems Podcast, Season 3, Episode 8, revolves around the book From Living to Legacy Beyond the Barriers of Mediocrity by author Donnell J. Cole. Like and share this video to those who will find this information useful. Tune into the show once a week, every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, live on YouTube, where we have raw, uncut, open discussions that can range with insightful and educational information across the board. Other episodes will include past and current events, trending topics, conspiracies, personal journey, and so much more. We also invite special guests to shed light on who they are, what professional industry they are in. If you would like to be a guest on the show, email droppinggemspodcasting@gmail.com with your name, business, industry, social media info, and brief bio. Hosted by yours truly, JL The Truth and Aki ONTL Dewan. Support the show by subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell. We're gonna open up really quick with this motivational video about legacy, and then I'll break down something that I've been reading in terms of this particular book here, and me and Aki are gonna get right into it.
Legacy is very lethal and vital, man.
Listen,
and I use both of those words the way I use them for a reason.
Legacy. There's power in your name. Power in your name. McDonald's is a last name. Abercrombie and Fitch, last names. Armani is a last name. Baskin Robbins is a last name. Chrysler is a last name. Fisher Price, Gucci, Hennessy, Harley Davidson, Hilton.
There they go. There goes the audio again.
Honda.
Hold on. It's not supposed to be happening. See if we can run that back.
Let me show you how we do stuff around here.
Actually, my department uses Monday.com, so I'm good.
Work management tool? No, that's not for me.
Well, Monday.com is all about flexibility, so you can make it your own. You can choose pre-built layouts for anything or build your own workflow. You just open a board, you choose the columns you need, you can move them around, or filter by what's most important for you. That way you're not always chasing your work, you perfect your process.
Sorry about that, y'all. We're having a little technical difficulties, but we're gonna get it right back. Just want to make sure that you can hear what it is that he's saying in the video, and that you don't miss anything, because it's very vital and important what he's mentioning and what we're going to be talking about today. Thank y'all for those who tapping in, man. Those who are watching right now, go ahead and shout yourself out in the chat. Let us know who up in the building. Thank y'all for your patience. We'll be getting the audio and things back up running again soon. Legacy is very important, though. Like I stated earlier in the video and earlier, legacy is both lethal and vital at the same time. Both lethal and vital. Why is that? Why you say that? I say that it's lethal because, man, when you have a strong legacy, man, it can be one of those things where it's hard to break. Look at, like he stated earlier, look at McDonald's. McDonald's legacy has been living for ages. McDonald's was out before I was born, and I'm almost 40. I'm 5 years away from 40. So, that's very lethal, because can nobody stop McDonald's? As much as people talk bad about their certain things that they do, the food that they have, the way it is, those things aren't, it's still people eat. So that's what makes it lethal. Now, makes it vital is when you want to leave a legacy, is something that's going to continue forever, forever and ever. And although we all, our physical bodies must perish, our legacy remains. Our legacy remains forever, and that's how you can live forever. Don't ever say you can't live forever, because you can. Only way you don't live forever is if you don't leave your legacy. Leave your legacy, you live forever.
Aki, you see me?
I can see you, Aki.
Okay, my bad. Forgive us, guys, for the audio interruption. We're going to continue where we left off at, and hopefully we don't have any more issues. Sorry about that, guys. I'll fix that at the at post at the end for us, Aki.
For sure. Unmute the screen, Aki. You gotta unmute it from StreamYard. Unmute that screen because it's muted. We can't hear nothing.
Is the audio coming through on the video?
No, but you know how you can mute. We can mute ourselves.
Yeah,
we're talking. Yeah, so that screen is muted. If you gotta unmute the screen audio for the third screen. It won't let me. It won't let me do it.
Okay. Hold on. Let me fix it real quick. And then we should be good now.
All right.
Legacy. There's power in your name. Power in your name. McDonald's is a last name. Abercrombie and Fitch, last names. Armani is a last name. Baskin Robbins is a last name. Chrysler is a last name. Fisher Price, Gucci, Hennessy, Harley Davidson, Hilton, Honda, Kohl's, Kraft Foods, Lowe's Movie Theater, Marriott is a last name. Maybach is a last name. Nordstrom is a last name. Pillsbury is a last name. Porsche is a last name. Procter & Gamble, 2 last names. Rolls-Royce, Charles Rolls, Henry Royce, last names. Turner Broadcast System, Ted Turner, last name. Versace, last name. Wells Fargo, Henry Wells, William Fargo, last name. Walgreens, last name. Wrigley's, last name. Welch's Grape Juice, last name. Here you are, you think you're buying a product. You are not buying a product, you're buying a name. You think you're wearing a product. Hey, look at this product. No, you're saying, look at this family. And what you don't know is while you're making every family rich, you're making yourself broke. So you done went to one family called Wells Fargo and got $200,000 so you can go to another family called Rolls Royce so you can give them money to get yourself a car so you can go back to the hood and see the Joneses and say, look at what I got. Meanwhile, Wells Fargo, that family's sitting up being rich, and Harley Davidsons and Rolls Royce are being rich, and the Joneses are sitting there holding up people's stuff saying, look at what we did and we broke. What if I told you that your blessing is attached to your name? That part of the reason why you're not wealthy yet is because you keep trying to make Yolanda wealthy. You keep trying to make Tasha wealthy. What if you made Johnson's wealthy? What if you started thinking about your kids? What if you started thinking about your legacy? What if God started dropping Canaan and opening up windows of heaven? Because now you're not just thinking about you, you're thinking kingdom. There are some people who are attached to you who are saying, Mama, can you do something with this name? There's some people who are saying, Dad, can you do something with this name? Maybe God gave you the name to change and reverse some of the stuff that the name meant one day. I wish there was somebody in this room that said my name might mean one thing right now, but I promise after today, this name's getting ready to change. I promise after today, everybody's going to want my last name. I'm here to let you know you are a curse breaker. You're thinking kingdom. You are not just getting married, you're breaking a curse. You are not just graduating from college, you're breaking a curse. You are not just getting out of high school, you're breaking a curse. You are not just saved, you're breaking a curse. And everybody around you is about to be blessed because of what God's getting ready to do in your life.
Powerful stuff there. And if you want to watch the rest of that, That's Leave a Legacy, best motivational speech on YouTube.
Powerful. And he
Huh.
is right. The name, which is in Greek logos,
Mm.
you got to have a name. That is your logo. That is what you represent. That's what represents you. That's why branding, that's why corporations is winning right now, is because these corporations have utilized their names and have begun to take the blessings out of them. I mean, I wish I really would have knew this information really well some few years ago, because then I would have known to start putting my name in, making my name that.
Right. Early on when we were young, starting very, very early.
What Shaq did. Shaq learned that he went in or incorporated the name Shaq. Shaq is incorporated, bro.
Right.
It's incorporated. So, for him, because his name is Shaquille O'Neal, but the title Shaq, the name Shaq is incorporated. So every time it's being spoken of, that's a business move for him.
Right. He's making money off. You got to cut that check. Makes sense. Powerful stuff, Aki. I want to thank Lorena and Vicky for tapping in as well on the YouTube. And again, I'll fix that at post when we're at the end of everything. I'll end up fixing that intro and cutting that part out. But this particular book, Living to Legacy, it says here, in this timeless material, we dive deep into the topic of mediocrity. Mediocrity is a form of oppression that suppresses the greatness we were created to live. As we explore this journey, author Donnell Cole unfolds 4 paradigms titled Barriers to Mediocrity. With these barriers, he walks the readers through the personal evolution from being a juvenile delinquent on Scared Straight to overcoming traumas of poverty-stricken behaviors to being a first-generation graduate in college, business owner, and more. As he transitions the readers through these paradigms, he shows how to go from merely living to exist to living with intentional purpose and building a legacy. Donnell Cole is a gifted communicator, influencer, artist, life coach, and financial coach that serves to inspire, uplift, and empower. With a bachelor's degree in business and master's in nonprofit, he has spent more than 10 years investing and shaping others to pursue the pathway to purpose. As a mentor and coach, he is no stranger to the overwhelming challenges of those who face poverty to build the life of passion and purpose. He is married to the love of his life with 4 daughters, and he now invests in helping others find their God-given potential that he learned from mentors such as Les Brown and Grant Cardone. I'm going to read beautiful, Aki. And like I said, him coming from similar backgrounds and, again, overcoming that adversity and those trials and tribulations and becoming a success story and a best-selling author, it lets you know that when you apply yourself with intent and you no longer live in the mindset of poverty and you live yourself in a mindset of richness, you can potentially secure the same, if not more, right? I'm going to read this opening chapter to you really quick. It says here, from the day we are born, there are many factors that are fighting to shape and define just who we are, from the color of our skin, the amount of income we make, the opinions and beliefs we agree or disagree upon, the environments we live in. There's a preconceived idea that fights to conceptualize who or what we are. One thought I want to challenge you with in this chapter is who defines you and what are you capable of achieving in your life. The process of becoming mediocre begins when a person lacks identity. Where there's no identity, there's no purpose. Where there is no purpose, there's no meaning. If there's no meaning, then why does one even exist? Identity is defined as the condition or character of a person or thing, their qualities, beliefs, etc., that distinguishes them from another person or thing. The foundation for overcoming mediocrity starts when you recognize your own uniqueness. Your uniqueness is dependent upon your identity. The cliche, you can be whatever you want, comes down to this vital point. Your life is a reflection of who you are and the choices you have made. Who we feel we are dictates the actions we take in life. This is a universal principle that applies to all areas of life: business, personal, relation, and spiritual. This is also the same in regards to a position or title an individual occupies You can be an entrepreneur, CEO of a major company, college student, doctor, lawyer, pastor of a church. You can be a mother, father, child. What I said still holds true. The beliefs you have about your identity will dictate the outcome of your life.
Mm, mm, mm.
So the first thing you want to do is identify who you are and what it is that you want to accomplish. And once you identify who you truly are and what you want to accomplish, you'll start taking those actions towards those goals. And essentially the goal is to accomplish them. You know, but a lot of us stay stuck, Aki. I mean, we face so much turmoil in our life that sometimes we feel we can never overcome any of those things, and we stay like in this box, so to speak, and never want to pull ourselves out of it.
Man, we stay in the comfort zone. We stay
Comfort
where
zone. Thank you.
It's easy. It's like going to go lay down in your bed and knowing
Yeah.
your bed is comfortable and you don't ever want to get out of your bed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And we do find ourselves in that motions. I mean, you know, I find myself like that a few times.
Yeah.
A few times a year.
It happens to us. It happens to all of us.
We all go through those phases, and those are normal, and you are supposed to feel those. You're supposed to be able to recognize those, is because that's just letting you know that you have something, you have purpose, you have something to have it.
I'm wondering if that comfortability, Aki, is almost like when you say that you know you have those moments where you want to lay in the bed, or you know you're restless, you don't have enough energy, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think those are like signs of things that are telling you, hey, you know, get up and go, like you got more to live for, like stop feeling this way, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's
Because usually what they say, but here what I believe is that, you know, nothing comes easy. You know
Right.
what I mean? So in order to get it, you have to work for it. And those days where you don't feel like working for it are the days that, you know, that come because you've worked for a lot of other things already. And it's just like, oh, my body wants to give out, but it doesn't want to give out. It's just that you've worked a lot and you need a break. And so one of those things is, now this is your body telling you, okay, take a break, but don't get, you know what I'm saying, don't stay here.
Right. Don't get too comfortable with this.
Unfortunately, a lot of us enjoy that feeling and then stay there because we have been burnt out. And you know, something that I believe I told you this last time, and I think I said it, but I want to repeat it again just for the context of this content we're speaking to in regards to legacy, man. For those who are or don't know their identity, lacking purpose or anything like that, um, get a piece of paper, a pen, marker, crayon, whatever you can, write it down, and just write down 5 things out of your life that are important to you, and 5 things you want to think about every day. Right? And those can be very broad because underneath those, the 5 main things, these are the main things you want to be thinking about every day. Like as soon as you open your eyes to the time you close your eyes, these are things that these are just 5 things you want to be consistently thinking about or have awareness to throughout your day. There's going to be many things that consist of these 5 things, but the majority of it is, like, if family is one of your key components, right? Family. And then throughout the day you should be thinking about, what do my family need, what should I be doing for my family, how should I be able to help them, you know, how are we looking, how are we living, how are we able to strive to see what can we do to, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. If it's your career, you know, okay, what is the best career goal for you, what is it that you enjoy out of life, that you know, think that'll bring you happiness, that you don't mind doing, and to also make money. What is it your you know, is it a relationship? You know, what do you need to be doing every day or thinking about every day in order to sustain your relationship? Like, these are just examples of different things. Find those different things, and then once you find those 5 main things to think about, the things that consist of those 5 things, you will always consistently think about. And this is just me giving out some information on a habit that I'm trying to practice myself.
Love that, Aki.
It's
When
five.
where did this principle come from of like focusing on these 5 particular things? Where did you come across this?
Man, the other day I just was sitting there, just having some time to myself to think, and I just was like, man, we so overwhelmed with so much information and flooded. It's really, like I got tired of getting back to that same place again, where it just felt like you're repeating. And me and my wife, we talk about this every day, almost all of the time. It's just like, it's the consistent same routine, dealing with what we're dealing with right now. And, we're not complaining about it, but it's just like, when do we get a break, or when can something, when is there going to be the new change,
A shift, a change,
and, what I mean?
something
Like,
something that's going this way, going
yeah.
up. Yeah.
Right. So we talk about that all the time. And so, I just was sitting there thinking like, man, what is there? Is there something? There's something I need to focus on every day. I just need something to focus on every day. So therefore, it keeps my mind focused on these things, and nothing else is distracting me, because there's we have so many things that can distract us. And I don't mean, not in a bad way. It's not a bad thing to be distracted, but what I'm saying is, when you're trying to focus on something or a task at hand, you have these things that are distracting you, and it keeps you away from the focus, which takes away your ability to stay focused, which then you don't have the ability to take action, which means that nothing's going to change. So that's what made me kind of really think about it, like, what can help me, what can I try that may be useful for me and somebody else, that can just help with mental health. One, mentally help you, because now mentally what to focus on, and you have your specific thing. You don't have to anything else. You can just dismiss all of it automatically, because it doesn't align with what your core values are. Right?
Love that.
And so that's basically what it was. It's just like it was like a reminder to myself. Go back, find what my values are, who I am, my identity is. You know what I'm saying? But what are five things that about myself?
You want to be more productive with your time. You want to manage your time wisely,
right,
and more efficiently.
Right. And we get into a point now, me and my wife, we get into a point where now we can both work together like a team, like we used to, you know what I'm saying? Instead of, one person carrying all of the load or anything.
Yeah.
Because now we're taking on another shift in life itself. So, that's what made me just think about it. Like, all right, what are the things that we need to focus on? And,
love that, Aki.
Came up with a few things, and, working towards them. That's what I'm thinking about every day. What can I do to attain that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we need it, and it's hard, man. It's hard. Like I stated earlier before the show, creating a legacy is both vital and lethal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is very lethal, but it is very vital, meaning if you don't have one, you don't live. That's what, because if you think about it, if you go to the hospital, especially the emergency rooms, the thing that they do the first thing that they do is they go
check your vitals.
They check your vitals.
Yeah.
You're literally, you're gonna be survived. Like, if it depending on your vitals is depending on how quickly you can be seen in the hospital, like how fast they have to treat you, right? Depending on how bad your vitals are. Vitals is not that bad, you can wait. That's where you get those waiting times. Your vitals is bad, where you can't wait, where you can die in any moment. They're taking you right away, like it's a true emergency, right? And what I mean by lethal, you know what I'm saying? Lethal meaning that it's deadly. Like it's very powerful. Like he said it in the video, it's so much power in having a legacy, because look at the Rothschilds, bro. Their legacy is the financial system of America.
Right.
And look at how much power they have over our ability to consume products.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like that, it just is very vital and important. So that was just something that made me kind of think about that, like, you know, what's some information that I can give that one will help me and has been helping, and two, that can help someone else that, or maybe someone else never considered this. Because I think Warren Buffett had a video too out there when it comes down to wealth. He said, like, write down 10 of the most important things in your life, and then pick your top 5. And then he said, take one and throw the rest of them away, or something to that nature. So that my idea of me having 5 things to think about daily, or whatever the case may be, was stem from that type of video. You know what I'm saying? From my own, but in my own way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What would work better for me? And that
Definitely.
was something I looked at, like, you know, family is important. My mental spirituality is important. So if I'm thinking about this every day, thinking about family every day, thinking about my, you know, finances every day, thinking about certain things every day, you're just thinking about these core things every day, then, you know, it'll keep you on, no matter no matter
Keep you on.
what
No matter what you're going through, it'll keep you on track.
It really do. You know what I'm saying? It really do. And for those of you who may need to do it on a vision board, do it. I mean, I'm next week I'm going to go get some stuff for me and my children. Not
that.
next week. I think about after 4th of July I'm gonna go do that, where we're all gonna do vision boards as a family.
Love that, Aki.
You know,
Love that.
So everybody can have something to look forward to.
Love that. And then when you do it together as a family, the little ones can look at it as something art and creative. You know what I mean?
They're very creative themselves.
Very creative. You know what I mean?
Raw, bro. I'm pretty amazed and shocked at how well they're getting at drawing things.
Love that.
You know what I mean? So
love that.
They're getting really good. So yeah, no, I looked at it like that too. Thank you, Aki. Like it's not it's one, they'll understand what a vision board is, so it doesn't they don't lose that sight, because that's what children are little vision boards anyway. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So they don't lose that side of them, but also too, like, you know, they like spending family time together, and I feel like that's a good family you know, thing to do as a family. You know, everybody have magazines, different books, different things that inspires them, or what they want to be like, or whatever they want, and put it on a piece of paper.
Put it on the board. Put it on the board, keep it up, hang it up, and see it every single day.
Yeah.
Love that, man. Love that. Now, here I got some notes from the book, and it says that here it says 4 important traits, but I got 5 important traits found in the rite of passage: building a foundation, understanding the roles in a relationship, preserving traditional values that are handed down, strengthening beliefs or reframing beliefs through upgraded programming, which is like the upgraded programming is, you know, affirmations, constant, you know, digesting good things of that nature, and then helping others to understand their purpose. Have you ever seen that, where you've noticed something in somebody else that they haven't quite noticed within themselves, and then you tell them, yo, you should be trying this, maybe this is what you need to be into? You know what I mean?
And look, bro, when I was working in Santa Monica, that was kind of my deal thing, was everybody there was from a different walk of life. And as we all continue to work the job, I always told everybody, hey, don't retire here. Okay. Like, don't, if this is what you want, if truly this is what you like, though, I'll say that. But if this is not what, don't retire here. I used to tell that to them in the morning times and stuff like that, like everybody. And then as time goes on, everybody kind of met each other, and then you kind of see who does what and does what. I used to always tell them, man, hey, go do that. Go find a way to you know what I'm saying, to do that. Use this job as a stepping stone to get there. Use this job as
definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And some people are going there, man. Some people have reached certain limits. They left the job and went and got better positions doing what they really do. You know what I mean?
What they really do.
Even myself in regards to insecurity and stuff like that. Yeah.
Definitely. Here are some of the key principles from chapter 1. We are all uniquely created and gave the capability to do great things. Our belief systems govern our state of identity. So what we believe governs that state of identity. Rites of passage is a vital component to identity. We are defined by our experiences, our core beliefs, and the memories that mold us. history, those traumatic events can definitely mold us into,
Right.
can spiral us into something we shouldn't become. And then go ahead.
That's because in your belief, you believing it so much that it can manifest. You know what I mean? So you know that goes with both good and bad, but you want that high level, you know what I'm saying, to the point where you're believing in. So now you believe in it, it gives you that willpower to do something.
Definitely. Where there is no real sense of identity, your purpose will suffer.
You don't know what you're doing. It's just you're walking around not knowing what to do, so you're just trying to figure out what to do. That's like my son when he's tired and he don't know how to go to sleep. He don't know how to just lay down and go to sleep. He goes around and messes with everything, throws things off of the counter. Like he don't know what to do with himself.
Crazy. Identity theft isn't just when someone steals your identity, but it's also the things in your life you allow to rob you of your greatest potential. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses, opportunities for growth and identity thefts. Recognizing flaw is as such an insecurity that builds awareness. When you recognize a flaw, the perception of your own self-worth and self-value is what drives the narrative of your identity.
Man, you said this book called what?
And this book is called From Living to Legacy.
And those are like highlighted from the chapters.
Highlighted from the chapters, yeah. Highlighted from like this is just like the beginning chapter. You know, and some of the things and what I'm really taking from this book, Aki, is just like, you know, because we've heard of these things before, even relatively from other motivational speakers, right? Or when we're digesting a certain piece of content that we're enjoying, that's positive for our mind. You know, you mentioned to me that there's an overload right now in social media. So for me, what's important, because of the algorithm and the way the algorithm works, Aki, is I make sure I set myself up where it's like I don't see anything too distracting. You know, I'm making sure that I'm liking motivational pieces. I'm making sure that I'm liking stuff from entrepreneurs. I'm making sure that I'm liking stuff that's music related, film related, anything that just garners what I'm trying to focus on, right? So that the algorithm is not feeding me anything negative. Now, what I'm taking from this book is those core values and those principles that he's spreading, because as a man who is married and has 4 daughters, he had a lot on his plate. You know what I mean? He had how many children you have, Aki? You have about
I got
4.
I got
4. So now you can relate to that.
And,
4.
A house.
4 daughters, you have 4 children, right?
And
me, I have 2 boys and I got 5 pets. That damn near, you know what I mean? Like I feel
man, you got you got 2 boys, but you got 6 children, 7 children, bro.
Man, those pets, bro.
Yeah, I know those pets.
Them pets, bro.
Yeah.
But that, you know, those are all big responsibilities, and like it speaks to the nature of who we are, Aki, because we still make time to provide information, provide value. You know, I try to explain to people, especially you know, when I'm on TikTok, it's like I don't want people to just see me as just one frame of a source. Like I'm just somebody there just trying to entertain you. There's so many other layers that I want you guys to get to know. That's why it's so important for you to tap into the podcast, check out the YouTube channel, you know, follow the pages or whatever the case may be, because we're really out here providing you guys valuable tools that if you apply them, they can potentially benefit you if you apply them properly. You know, and we're living it in the moment with you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because some of these
we're not Gary V, we're not XYZ, the ones that are already, you know, full blown solidifying their legacy. We're not there quite yet.
No.
But what we're giving you is we're living in the moment with you. You know, not saying that we're unsuccessful,
right.
But what I'm saying is that we're living in the moment with you, wanting to become successful.
Right. And it's more, think about it like this. For those who may or may not have ran track, in track and field, when we were running, especially doing cross country or doing the long ones like that, everybody's pretty much running around, bunched around and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We're all trying to go and get to that finish line. Now,
Right.
who's the person that's way up ahead? That's just that person that's way up ahead, but everybody's still
Right.
trying to get there. And what
Right.
happens is a lot of times is that those of us who are still trying to get there, who ain't that far ahead, but we're pushing each other and motivating each other to get there and
100%.
keep going so we can all finish the race. So
that.
that's what me and JR here are doing. That's what Unified Media Podcast is, Dropping Gems Podcast is we're here to help you. We're here to tell you, give you the same information, but give it to you from a different perspective while also being in it with you.
In it with you.
And showing results with
you. Love that, Aki. Love that. And I think people are missing that point.
Yeah.
They're really missing that point.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Living it with you.
We're living it with you, you know, with everything that we have on our table, not taking anything away from somebody else's table and what they have going on. Because like you said earlier, everybody's facing their own trial.
Yeah.
Everybody's facing their own struggle.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, the intensity, everybody's intensity is slightly different, but we all feel pain.
We all feel
we all feel the pain.
Intensity, yeah.
We all feel pain. You know what I'm saying?
It's different levels, but
different levels.
We all have different levels of pain tolerance at the same time. So
that too.
So
I wanted to speak to you about something, Aki, which is that dawning on my mind, and I can tell that it made me feel in the moment that I am growing into something that I wasn't growing into years ago. And I ended up getting injured during the program that my boy gave me, right? 6 months in, I get injured recently. Like I can't even properly do a pull-up, right? I think I either strained my bicep or some kind of, between my bicep and my forearm, I strained something and now I can't pull myself up entirely. But something in me years ago, if that would have happened, I would have gave up on the program and would have slacked on it. Right. He sent, and this is with me not even telling him about my injury yet. He's still constantly sending me workouts, updating the application or whatever the case for me. And I'm still doing other variations to still target those muscles, even while I'm feeling the pain, Aki. I'm still pushing through, and the tightness gets worse and worse and worse. Almost like if my bicep is about to pop. Terrible feeling, Aki. So eventually, I start taking it easy, but I'm still doing variations just to target those muscles. And I start stretching more and I start doing less and less of like the load of it. I'm not doing it as much as I would if I was fully healed. And then I hit him up today and I'm like, yo, I actually got injured. And he was like, completely take it easy. Not knowing that I already was doing that, but I was still doing variations of different workouts to push through the pain. Years ago, I would have gave up on it. But something in me, Aki, told me that I needed to not only dedicate myself to this program because of the goals I'm trying to reach, but I was also thinking about him, because I become successful in his program and his business becomes successful as well, because he's utilizing me as a prototype for his program, because I'm the one that is kind of pushing myself through media, which essentially can help his business. I didn't want to give up on him.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I didn't want to give up on myself. And I want to tell these people this is, it's important that even when you're going through pain, you still have to be able to push through it, even when it hurts. When it hurts.
Look, pain is just something your brain tells you feel it. If your brain didn't tell you to feel pain, would you feel it?
No.
So you know what I mean? It's like it's just like you if you didn't know what pain was, you wouldn't feel it. So in a sense, a lot of athletes, motivational speakers, and people like that, they push their bodies to a point where they shut that part of their brain off, where to them they don't feel it. Which then it allows them to push beyond the barrier that their body was trying to create for them, which then now they get more creative now because now they have no barrier, which is what you did. You didn't want to give up on yourself nor give up on him and his business, which then what you did was you pushed past your barrier that you felt you had, and not realizing that you actually don't have any barriers but the ones you put in place yourself, right?
Right.
So, that's what you did. And good man, I'm good. Are you good now, Aki?
Oh yeah, I'm good now. I mean, I see I have like a slight pinch or whatever that you can feel when I'm doing my pull-ups or whatever, but it's not to the point where it's like deviating me to want to stop.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or that it's going to lead to severe injury.
Okay,
because I made sure that I passed that information down to him. He's like, what does it look like? And I told him, he's like, all right, well, as long as if this doesn't occur to it, that you're in good shape. So I was like, all right, cool.
Hey.
Which leads to this point. After that, he tells me that somebody from the community ended up buying one of the programs, that wants to buy the stretching program and another program, and it may lead to a possible client down the line. And I told him that's amazing. That's, that's showing progress.
Yes,
that's showing progress.
Hey, shit.
Look, and because I want to be, for me, Aki, I think it's important that like help people on the way up.
You got to.
You know what I mean? Help people on the way up, because I don't lose nothing by making sure that he's good or anybody else that is relatively trying to create something for themselves. If I can do anything in my power in the moment to try to uplift somebody and bring somebody up with me, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? That's just who I am.
I'll tell you who I am, bro. I'm the type that when kids come up to me, hey, can you buy this candy for me? We're raising money for our school team in Jersey. I'm like, keep the candy. Here's the money.
Here's the money. Love that.
So not only
I love that. I love that.
I swear, because I
love that.
Be wanting candy.
I don't even be wanting candy neither. So,
but I'm gonna help you out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you would have still made your money off of me buying your candy, but now you still have your candy plus the money. Now you've basically been tipped off now, so now you still have the opportunity to sell that same piece of candy to somebody else when they want it. And that's how I move. You know what I'm saying? I help on the way up, because it's
love that.
You know what I mean? Like that. That's just, I always felt that, and I've been doing that for years, man. Whenever I have children or people that come up to me and they be like, hey, can you support me? We got a team, this and this, and how much is the candy? It's this and that. All right, here, keep that. Here you go. No, you keep the candy. Sell that to somebody else, man. You just keep that. And I do that to all of them, bro. Because I feel like I don't need the candy. Honestly, I don't need the candy. You know what I mean? But the support there goes a long way. And a lot of children, when I remember this one kid, he was probably about 6 or 7, and you can tell he was having a rough day that day. He didn't really get a lot of sales that day, right? And he was selling a little candy, and it was $1. And he came and asked me, and I was just like, how much is it? And he was just like $1. I was just like, I'm okay with the candy though, man. You know what I'm saying? But here go $5. So you keep that and you go sell somebody else the candy, okay? And he's like, you could tell the look on his face is like got real happy, and the mom was just like, "Thank you so much. This is like the best sale he had all day. He's been trying really, really hard." I'm like, "Oh, no problem." You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't even tripping. I probably ate the candy that I get, that I bought anyway. You know what I'm saying, with the little $5 I got. Yeah. But he was happy because, like I said, he wasn't trying to sell a piece of candy all day. Only had one person buy one candy off of him. Here it is. I give him $5 whole to keep. And not even take the candy, I didn't know I'd do that. And ever since that day too, I just continued to keep doing that, bro. I'm saying that's how that those type of acts is how you help on the way up. I'm Absolutely. Going up on whatever journey I'm going up on, and this kid was going up on whatever journey he's going on. You know what I'm saying? And for him to be happy that day that, whatever donations or whatever money he was getting for it, Kenny was helping him for his football team, basketball, whatever he was doing, but I know it was constructive and productive. And the fact that his mom was out there, they were very grateful and appreciative of that, because I know it helps that,
Right.
Me playing sports, I was out there selling stuff just so we can get new jerseys.
Just to get them cleats, the jerseys.
You know what I mean?
The pads, the helmet.
You had to get out there.
All that. We need all that.
I already knew where little man was coming from.
Love it, man. Love it. So I got some more notes here. It says here, when God created us, he desired for us to live our best versions of ourselves to make the biggest impacts we could for his glory.
Mhm.
Identity can either shape you into a victor or a victim, but the two cannot coexist.
Woo, 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 woo. Read that back.
Right. Go
One
ahead. Identity can
time.
either shape you into a victory, right? Victor,
Mhm.
or a victim, but the
Mm.
two cannot coexist. You're either going to be a victor or a victim. Choose your.
You either gonna be victorious
Victorious
or you
or
gonna be a
be
victim.
victim.
You're gonna be a victim.
Which one you gonna be? Which one? And it's crazy, Aki, because when I was young, I I can say I coexisted in both at one point in my life.
Man, me too. I can
Being young, not knowing any better, blaming it on everybody else but myself, not holding myself accountable for my actions. It was this person, it was that person. I blame it on them. It was my parents, it was this, it was how we was living, boom, boom, and not looking within myself to say, damn, I made some decisions that I shouldn't have made, which led to these circumstances.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's me playing the victim, you know.
We all
You
do
know?
it, man. And
Crazy.
the best part about it is, and the beautiful part about it is that you can play the victim. When you stop playing the victim and become victorious, is you know what I'm saying, you'll then know what side of the field you want to stay on.
Right.
It's just like when you really stop playing the victim and stuff, and just really take accountability on your actions. It helps out. It helps out
Definitely.
because at the end of the day, can't nobody look. Can't nobody move you but you. Nobody's in control of your legs but your mind, which you are in control of.
Definitely. People tend to model behaviors that are in alignment with their belief. When they don't resist, when there's no resistance occurring, cognitive dissonance. I probably messed that up there when I wrote down those notes. But people tend to model behaviors that are in alignment with their beliefs. Awareness of this resistance is how you challenge program identity thefts. Awareness of this resistance is how you challenge programmed identity thefts.
Y'all know what programmed identity theft is? Like, you know what he's saying?
But if Aki, break it down real quick. Is it the way we've been spoon fed this? Since we were young, kind of like for everybody. Break it down for us, Aki. What's programmed identity?
You just said it. That they're programming you an identity.
They're programming you on identity.
You're not being identified as who you are. You're being identified as someone I am creating. Someone I'm making you this.
You're right.
You get what I mean?
That's why it's important the way they program us, because they want everybody that way. They don't want everybody to have. They don't want everybody to think out the box.
I said it in the podcast before. I don't remember exactly what show, but I said it before. It's easier to get, if you can make 100 people believe a lie, the lie now becomes the truth.
The truth. Ooh.
Because 100 people say it is.
And if you get the world behind that, are we talking about religion? Woo!
Talking, yeah, I mean, because see, there's a difference between religion and then there's a difference between culture. Religion, they gave you something to do. They it's man-made. It's not believe. It's not original. In culture dates back to its origin. Origin means where it originated from. You know what I'm saying? It's funny because I always had this debate when people say that, because I'm Hebrew and I study the Bible, right? And everybody goes like, but the Bible is man-made. They gave you all that religion. I'm like, yeah, it is. They gave it to us, right? What they didn't realize was how smart we was. They gave us a Bible that has the original text in Hebrew and Greek from a language that's been here before most of us was even able to read and write. And so now that I've understood that, I'm using their same book that they gave me to seek out a truth and tell them about themselves better than they can. That's how some people, because it really is like to that notion, people really go get like that. Like there's debates and stuff like that when it come down to the Bible, and people stop me. I'm like, man, y'all gotta, you have to look at things. You have to really be able to use your own intellect on that, because the Bible is
Right.
a book that they just gave us to have as a religion. They used it as a weapon and called it religion, but in there are just different forms of what we're doing right now is dropping gems, different forms of gems that have been
Right.
from different people and their experiences on this world, that some of them are prophesized to happen because of actions. It tells you in there's certain actions that if you do these actions, this will happen, but if you do this, then this will happen. And you can't change principle, you can't change something that has no change, right? And so if God is changed, then he can't change, but he can change you. You get what I mean? So that's what the book is about. The book is there to explain the book is what change is, but you can't change the book. Makes sense? You know what I mean? It's like
Love that.
that's what it is. So
Love that. Love that. Says here, as social creatures, we learn best through osmosis. I probably pronounced that wrong. Excuse me.
osmosis.
Osmosis. So as social creatures, we learn best through osmosis. The basis of who we aspire to become is found in the characteristics of who we model and emulate.
It's always good to have a good model.
Yeah. And it's hard to find a good mentor,
Man.
or mentor, period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you have to really place yourself in a specific area. You have to put yourself in areas where you don't really see yourself, or that you're not comfortable with, I should say. So that way you can start. So that way you can start conversing with certain individuals that can potentially be a mentor for you. You know what I'm saying? Going into, like, it's like when we had that episode with my boy Quinn, when you were congratulating on him for, building community within his conglomerate of churchgoers. He would go and chill with people that went to church, that would speak well about him and his endeavors, which helped grow and build his confidence, so to speak. You know what I mean? So that way he can continue to pursue the things that he wanted to pursue. It gave him a sense of like fulfillment in those moments. You know what I mean? It made him feel good about himself.
I'll put it to you like, all I did was put a mirror in front of him and show him who he was, so he could continue to move. That's
definitely.
And
definitely.
we all need that sometimes. Sometimes we go some time and we don't really look in the mirror and see ourselves for who we are. So that's how we lose our identity, and then we don't know exactly what it is we're supposed to be doing or what our purpose is. And and those things, again, I always say those are okay, because everything the circle of life is the most truest thing to be said. Life is a circle. Life and death is inevitable. Life and death is inevitable, meaning that it is always occurring. This is the circle of life. You get life. You start off, you being born, all the way you live life, and then you die, and then after you die, you born again, and you live life, and you know what I'm saying? It's like it's a continuously, it's a circle of life. So
the most impactful individuals in your life will help cultivate some of your talents and aspirations, giving you a greater sense of identity. So people that are impact, the people that are impactful in your life, impactful individuals in your life, will help cultivate some of your talents and aspirations, giving you a greater sense of identity. Again, and then go ahead, break it down.
It goes back to what I just said in regards to the boy and his team and the candy. I didn't buy the candy, but I gave him the $5. That right there was
impactful.
It was impactful to him, because now he felt the need to stay and continue to keep going, like
selling.
Yeah, I gotta keep
instead
going.
Of giving up.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So that right there, that act alone already says, hey, you know what I mean? Like that right there. And one thing I'll say this, me personally, I'm that person, because I've always been a thing for me. The people who I remember are always the ones who have made an impact on my life in a manner, whether it was negative or positive, it don't matter. But
100%.
it was because of how you impacted me that I'm a remember. There's something
Right.
that's gonna make me remember you. There's something unique about you it impacted me in a way where I had to attach myself to it, or I had to keep it as an attachment. So therefore, this could be useful later on, or maybe later on in life. We meet back around in life again, and boom. You know what I mean? Like I always been that type, man.
Love that.
I'm still to this day. It
Hey,
don't
still
matter.
that.
Look,
You impact me, bro.
Man, you impact me. I think you already know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what I'm saying?
always tell us, like, I have this thing, man. When when people ask me, like, I used to go by the name Trey D, right? And I always told the homegirl, like, when if anybody ever asks you how you got that name, I always told her, like, the way you impacted me was you're the person who gave me the name, or who not gave me the name. You're the person who told me, who said the name and helped me run with it, like it fit.
Right.
So
Right. It didn't.
her credit. I always give her credit.
Yeah.
For that,
Definitely.
because
Definitely.
you impacted my life. Like,
Definitely.
that's how I
Definitely. DJ Wells says the Bible is man written, but God influenced.
Thank
Just-
man. Come on, Wells. Come on, Wells.
The Bible is man written.
That's because the man had to write it. God influenced it, because influence is from in. It's in. It's within. So what I'm saying, God Himself, if He's the influence, He couldn't write it. He had to get man to write it, but He can influence the man what to write. Come on, man. Come on, Wells. Shout out to my boy Wells over there.
Wells
DJ
in the building. 65 Rolls Athletics just tapped in. Mentorship is by far one of the most incredible exchanges known to mankind. God blessed us with a celestial divinity that long connects with a greater purpose.
See,
God wants us to live life that allows us to prosper in the unique abilities He's gifted us.
Yep.
God seeks to renew our hearts, mind, and souls by reshaping who we are based on His precepts. By adopting the identity God instilled in us, we can fully walk in our calling.
See. So again, He has these things, these principles, these
Core
morals,
principles,
these ethics, these mannerisms, these things that if you followed these, aligned yourself with these, put forth the action behind these things, then you would now have been identified as who you are. And so people who identify themselves as such, as gods or whatnot, that's because that's how they see themselves. They're aligned themselves with is they walk with these type of principles and morals and don't deviate from them. And because those, think about it like this, his mercy is everlasting, and you can always be renewed in His love, which means that those principles, ethics, and morals that He has are forever, right? So that means you've sinned, you've done your thing, and when you're done and ready, and you tired, and you know what, I'm done. All right, here, you already know what to do. Start following these things. Boom, boom, boom. As soon as you start following those things, everything starts changing. You you know what I'm saying. So for those out there who be talking, you don't be talking mess about the Bible and its principles, because those principles will work, and they work. They have worked. They will work. They always will work. They're the past, present, and future, because those principles are the reason why we have natural abilities. Because think about it like this: for every action, there's a reaction. For cause and effect, if something has to happen for something to happen as well, so it has to be this way.
Love that, Aki. Love that. Here, before we get into halftime, vision. Who are you? What is your purpose? What is your mission? What drives you to achieve a desired outcome? Nothing conceived in the physical world was created without first being imagined in somebody's mind. I always said that. Everything that you see around you, everything you see around
before it's physical, Aki. That's
Yeah.
our saying. That's
first spiritual
before
it's physical. Love that. Vision is proof that anything is possible. Among the many attributes that visionaries have that make them unique is the ability to master their obsessions. Vision allowed Carver to cultivate limited resources and catapult it with the power of vision. Living out the greatest version of ourselves empowers us to build monumental visions. And then I'm gonna go into this one right here when you mention action, Aki, and then we'll take our break. Action plan questions. Check out these questions. Write these down when you play this back. What do you want to be known for? What gives you a sense of fulfillment? If you were given a blank check to quit your job and live out your dream for 3 months, what would you do? If failure wasn't an objective, what career path would you pursue? What type of success do you see yourself creating? What type of hobbies stir passion and enthusiasm for you? What mark do you want to leave on earth? Plan out the 10 to 15 moves ahead in your desired plan of execution. What system of order do you need to cultivate to grow you into your next level of life?
Look, see, out of all of those, how many questions were those? 10 questions? You had 15?
Yeah, about 10.
10
plan of actions.
The plan of, so those 10 plans of actions, they all stem from different aspects of what you were supposed to be thinking about daily of the 5.
Just the way, just the five, think about the 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's that important.
Because what I'm saying is, if you have those 5 core things you're thinking about daily, right? And of those core things, of those 5 things, those are questions that come up while thinking about these things.
Right, 100%.
That's what I'm alluding to. I want people to understand in regards to what I'm saying is that when you have 5 central, or when you, however many everybody's different, but when you have these core things that you think about every day, that you say, you know what, this is the things that I want to keep my mind focused on every day, right? As you keep your mind focused on them, well, how do you keep your mind focused on them? Well, you ask questions about those things. When you can ask the right questions and get the right, saying, and put together the right words for the good, a good question, then you have questions like that where it helps you consider and think about things that you now have to think about, and then it'll help you put forth the action now, because now you know what 100%. Action to take. See, a lot of the issue we have is we're fed so much information and we're fed what to do, but not how to take the action to do it.
Yeah, and us sitting around being consumed by overload, it delays the proper actions we're supposed to be taking in the first place.
Right.
Because we're constantly scrolling and looking at things we shouldn't have.
They said that literally, man, and this may not occur to everybody, but just when you're a person that are you've been the person that has been having trouble making decisions, and it's taking you a long time to make decisions. They have this rule where if you whatever you're being told, or whatever situation you're in, you have to make a decision within the first, I think it was like 60 seconds, a minute, 120 seconds or something like that. It's almost like it's like a minute to 2 minutes you have to decide, yes, I'm gonna do this, because then after that window is done, you're not gonna do it at all. Right? You know what I'm saying? So you have that amount of time, that amount of seconds to consider, okay, this is something that I want to do. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. All right, now you can go and then go ahead and then do it, because then it's like once you start doing it, you're in the motion, and then once the motion has happened, now it's already in motion and it's moving, and then now the only thing you can do is continue to build momentum, and then so stuff like that.
Love that, Aki. Love that. We're gonna take a quick intermission. This is called Making an Impact, a powerful motivational piece about legacy. Check this out, and we'll be back right after this.
I've been receiving checks from Charles Schwab on a weekly basis. Let me show you. Here are the few of the checks that I receive as proof. Basically, all I have to do is find a trend. And regardless if the market is going up or down, I get the check.
Cancel out the noise. Track and level up the most important areas of your life while listening to your favorite motivational speeches. Download Mindset today.
Are you planting anything in the ground right now, or are you spending all of your life wasting time? What are you planting in the ground? What are you putting in the soil? Are you planting or are you resting? What are you doing? Now is the time to develop a legacy mindset. What is a legacy mindset? It is a way of thinking that causes you to make winning decisions today so you and others can have winning results tomorrow. And my question to you is, do you have a legacy mindset? Here's the deal. Too many of us, we think this is a rest season when really it's a planting season. This is the season to put some seed in the ground. Every decision you make is putting seed in the ground. Now is the season to plant seeds of prayer. Now is the time to plant financial freedom seeds, where you're planting a tree of financial freedom so that later on your children's children and your community will walk by a tamarind tree of financial freedom. Plant in this season. Now is the time to develop a legacy mindset. Somebody saying, Pastor, I love this legacy thing, but I'm only 25. I got no kids. What does legacy got to do with me? Pastor, I mean, I'm about 73. You done missed the legacy sermon. I should have got it 20 years ago. My day's done, so there's nothing left. Maybe you're 40 years old. You say, Pastor, I got this mess over here, this mess over. Legacy ain't got nothing to do with me. Let me tell you why legacy hits everybody. We have all had to deal with the struggle that we inherited from someone else's legacy and not ours. And the question is, are you going to set a new legacy and plant a new tree? Or are you going to sit by and just inherit the mess that somebody left for you? You have obstacles that are generational, and you don't know that they're generational because somebody left a legacy of pain and trauma that you have inherited. And unless you develop a legacy mindset, you'll never accelerate the way God wants you to. You're not going to tell nobody how to get out of that situation. So you cool with you having money and everybody else being broke. That you don't have a legacy mindset. A legacy mindset says me making it is not enough. My kids doing well is not enough. Me praying is not enough. I'm not going to stop until me becomes we. Now is the time. When we talk legacy, we are talking about moving from just me making it and I'm good and I'm straight to I got too many people not making it in. See, y'all thinking about a pandemic. It ain't got nothing to do with a pandemic. It's about a legacy mindset. I'm a Bullock, last name Bullock. Well, as a Bullock, we preach. We sing. I got a nephew, niece singing, preaching, all kind. We birth singing. But then there's some other stuff that come with Bullock. Some struggles, some habits, some appetites that goes through the family. And what bothers me is nobody told me. Nobody told me. They told me about the preaching. They told me about the singing, but some of that other stuff, they forgot to tell me that this thing I'm fighting was my great-great-grandfather's fight. Y'all didn't tell me that part. Y'all told me he could sing, but you didn't tell me he had this struggle. And so now we got a generation of people who have a struggle that they inherited because nobody wants to tell them this is the thing that was planted in your life. And I'm sorry I never told you, but I planted that thing a long time ago. And the reason why your coping mechanism is under this particular tree is because that is what I planted. You can plant a new tree.
Tired of typing tons of notes during class? There's finally a better way. It's called Otter.
You don't have to keep that seed, that tree there. You can pull that thing up and put something else in the roots. That's why legacy has to matter to you, because it's time to plant something new. I went to Berklee College of Music for 2.5 years. I didn't take school very seriously. School wasn't necessarily something that I just was into. So I dropped out of school. I just started doing a little community college class here, a little community college class there, a little class here, a little class there. What happened was my mother graduated from college. My mom, you got to understand, my mom started as my cafeteria lady when I was in 3rd grade. In 3rd grade, I showed up to school. My mother was the cafeteria lady. I watched my mother get her GED. And then after she got her GED, she went and started to pursue higher education in college. And my mom went from being the cafeteria lady to being in the classroom. And my mom, to this day, is the longest tenured teacher in that school. They gave her the most difficult classes, difficult kids, difficult cases. She went from the cafeteria to the classroom, and I went to my mother's graduation. When I saw my mother graduate college, oh, she planted something in my heart. She planted something in my life. And so I made a decision that before my first child was born, I was going to graduate college. My daughter was born in 2014 of September. September 2014, my daughter was born. I graduated from college December 2014. I graduated. I had my baby in my hand with my cap on, my gown on, and my degree. What happened was somebody said, I'm going to plant a seed of graduates in this family. I don't want us to be a family of GEDs. I don't want us to be a family that's uneducated. I'm going to plant a seed. And when she planted the seed, all of a sudden I took it. And then my brother took it. And our children will take it. Why? Because God is looking for somebody to be a legacy builder, to have a legacy mindset and say, I'm going to open up a door that nobody can close in our family. Because if a curse can be passed down, so can a blessing. I'm tired of hearing about generational curses, and you don't tell me about the generational blessings that are coming to my life. And I'm declaring we're releasing generational blessings, cycle of blessings coming into your life because of legacy in this place. Which means when I get a paycheck and I want to keep that check, but then I put kingdom over comfort. I'm going to be quick to listen, slow to speak. I'm going to be slow to anger. I'm going to forgive. I made an eternal decision. I have a legacy mindset. That's going to have eternal impact. You got to put we over me.
You can plant another seed. You can grow another tree.
Man.
That hit.
Man, come on now. Look, we both got hit with that one because that's exactly that's what hit me too. It's like you can plant a whole nother tree, and that's what we forget, man. Yeah, that's what I mean by being distracted by so many things, is that you forget you can just plant another tree. You forget you can just do something else.
Yeah, because we're given we're given the option of choice. So why not make better choices? You know what I mean?
You know better, you do better, and you do better, you be better.
100%, Aki, 100%. Let me continue where we left off at in with vision really, really quick. Let's see what it says here.
And vision is, go ahead.
Vision conditions your thoughts, emotions, and energy. Start small with your vision by creating a bucket list. Vision breaks the barriers of a conditioned state of programming that is keeping us stagnant. Manifestation is the mental action. Ooh, I never heard that one before. Mental action is manifestation. I like that one. Manifestation is the mental action of taking an intangible thought, action, or behavior and bringing it into fruition. Paint the most desirable outcome for your life to avoid the feeling of uncertainty. Through manifestation, you can paint that life, right? Having vision provides boundaries to obtain the life you seek to achieve. God has fully equipped you to fulfill the vision he placed in your heart. Visualization is powerful. It challenges behaviors, mindsets, and factors that contradict the ideal pathway to progress that makes our lives worthwhile.
You know why that was heavy? Vision is heavy. Vision is always going to be heavy. Is because physically, let's look at it from a carnal perspective. From a physical perspective, you're able to identify things that you can see in front of you. You're able to know that it exists because you can see it in front of you. Right? Well, because of that same principle of being able to see, when you are able to see something that's not there, but the fact that you're able to see it can be there is what makes vision powerful. Because what you're doing essentially is now you're looking into the dark abyss and you're taking a light and shining it on something that you can't see without that light. So when you're able to have vision, you're able to see something mentally in your mind first, then physically you can take the actions to physically manifest it and to fruition, make it become fruition, make it become true. You know what I mean? Be like, you can see yourself, because if you can see it, it can be done. If you can't see it, you wouldn't be able to. It can't come to because of that. But this is where, when you have vision and it challenges those things that you just mentioned right now, you know what I mean, in regards to that, because now I can make something that challenges what your perception of your reality. I can make a new reality because now I can see something in it and make it to fruition, something that you couldn't see.
And if we take from that intermission segment of planting seeds, we planted seeds in our mind for all of this to come into fruition. Because in your mind, before you met me, you always wanted to have a podcast where you'll be able to provide gems, provide value. You know what I mean? In your mind, before we met, you planted seeds in your mind where you were like, I want to meet other like-minded individuals that we can create some form of unification to be able to take what we already have and utilize each other in a manner where we can all grow. You know what I mean? You planted those seeds in your mind way before you even got on that plane with your brother to go to New York.
I did, Aki. I did.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy because I always say it, had I not, paid for that marketing promotion, you know what I mean, invested in myself to have that billboard. And what's crazy when you look at the little, the way the universe works, Aki, like every single slight small decision that was made on your end, my end, led placement of the fashion stuff that you and your brother was doing, for you to be standing looking up, for my family to be standing looking up, and then your decision of saying, let me go over there and see what they're all hyped up about, and let me communicate with them and engage with them. And then my father making a slight decision to say, these guys are cool, they're from out of town, they're here, they're like-minded fellas in the same scene. Let me give them some information. And then you, again, taking a decision to say, let me take that information and go reach out to this guy online. Every single detail, every single decision, Aki, leading up to this point, which is, it's crazy, bro. Think about it. It's wild, Aki.
Here we are. Look,
it's wild, Aki.
What you just read and what we are expounding on is we
vision.
Are proof of it. We both had visions of being on podcasts. Didn't know how, who, where, when, you know what I'm saying, or what it was going to be really about. But we had that vision.
The vision, we planted the seed.
And here we are today, man, just doing it. And into our, we on season 3?
This is season 3 of Unified Media, and then we're going on to season 4 of the music review. That's 7. That's about to be, that we're about to complete 6 full seasons between 2 different shows. That's work, Aki. That's work.
I know.
And what's crazy is that now in the moment, what makes it so special, Aki, is the fact that because we're repurposing the Unified Media content now, and the way I broke it down to you, that it literally gives us 30 pieces, 40 pieces of just one episode. We got a lot of gems we're gonna be giving out. A lot of gems that we're gonna be giving out. And what's special too, Ak, is that people are following on the TikTok.
I seen
People
that.
are following the Unified Media YouTube channel.
Mhm.
We're getting subscribers there. You know, it's a slow progress. It's
I
not
love it.
huge, significant numbers, but people are still subscribing. People are still following, and
people
they're
talking about I'm about to tap in. I'm about to tap it. Like they're tapping into the Unified Media because of the way we're resurfacing it is being you know what I'm saying.
And what's being repurposed is like, yo, we got to go check out those episodes. We got to see what they're talking about.
And the thumbnail thing it works very well, Aki.
Oh yeah, we're gonna. The minute I have all the updated thumbnails, what I plan on doing is like, I'll be grabbing those particular physical thumbnails now, and also throwing them up in our stories with the links attached to them. So it's just a different. It looks like a different piece, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of just it being the overload of the flyer.
I'm gonna take some more, and you can find a way to put both of us together on
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be working on that too. I'm actually what I'll do is like when you start sending me the new clips for the thumbnails, because I know you wanted to send me more. I'll find ways to put us both in there. You know what I mean, for certain episodes.
Honestly, Aki, I'm just
throw us in there.
The camera and doing hand and facial gestures. That's
You did good. You did good. And I grabbed some really good ones. You know, I screenshotted some really good ones, and you know what I mean. Once we throw those up, you know, people will appeal to what they appeal, whatever they're searching for through the algorithm. And again, what really hits home is the information that we're dropping. Like people are commenting on the TikTok, they're commenting on the Instagram. They're like, yo, you know, some of them it'll be so relatable. They'll be like, damn, you hit home with this one. You know what I mean? So it's working.
No, it definitely is. But yeah, Naki, back to that. Just we've already created our legacy here when it comes to
definitely.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, it was crazy. It was what was funny is I always felt it, but then it always just played out. It happened to play out in a role. Unified Media wasn't. It was something. Even though you had the main idea of it, I felt like Unified Media without me wouldn't be the face or wouldn't be what it is. I feel
100%.
like me and you together just are what a unified media would look like.
Means.
And means like, you know what I'm saying, like we're the definition, because everybody still is crazy. Everybody still, people even from the Unified, they reach out to me and like they got new records. Niggas just hit, hey bro, I got a new
They excited. They can't wait for center stage. You hear me?
I'll be backing up too, because I'll be like, damn, we ain't even in the season right now. But like I feel like those special DJs that be, you know what I'm saying, those get those or they get the opportunity to go to the recording studios with some of the artists and watch some of them put them records together, right? Like that's how I feel when it comes down to the artists sending us some of their records that's not out yet, or they're, you know, wanting to showcase us and tell us, hey, I got new records coming out. Because even
definitely
Taylor Torres, he got one. Goonie, he sent me one the other day, man. That's fire. I can't wait. You know what I mean? It's crazy. You know, I can't wait to hear more from Sam's. Man, I know Juan got one cooking up too right now too. He
love that, man.
So, you know,
love that. And we're gonna get back in our bag. I plan on doing like a switch of creative spaces. Like I'm gonna be taking out my studio. I'm actually gonna move it to the bedroom, take it out the living room, and then I'm bringing my wife's creative stuff out here, and we're gonna just. I'm gonna update all, you know, most of my equipment. I got updated pieces already sitting in boxes. Like I got updated speakers. I got, you know, an updated phone booth stand or whatever the case may be. So like I'm gonna do like a whole reconstruction of the studio, put it in the bedroom, let my wife be out here in the living room with all her creative stuff, and then I'm just gonna lock in on all the music and film stuff that me and you've been working on, me and Zams, and just really get back to the flow of the creativity for center stage. But like you said, man, I think people really look forward to our constructive criticism and also look forward to our wisdom. You know what I'm saying? For both shows.
No, and I think that I want to just give a shout out to all of the people who, you know, who actually know us in real life, because a lot of y'all are the reason why the gems that we drop are significant, and other people are getting them.
Yeah.
It's because of y'all. Like we appreciate y'all for tapping in the Soul Fam on there. The questions,
Yeah.
a lot of the information and stuff that y'all discuss on TikTok or on during the lives and stuff like that, man. A lot of those conversations come from, or we talk about in our podcast. Like
Yeah.
those are real life things that we discuss. And when you guys tap in and show and send stuff, it really does the thing for us. I think me and JR's identity on here and being unified, unified media, is one, to show unity in relation and unity within people and like-minded individuals, but also two, is to give that sense of being comfortable, or being feeling human. You know what I mean? Feeling
100%.
human. Because at the end of the day, that's what that is like.
100%. 100%. I got here based on, I know I sent something on TikTok. On Discord to the Soul Fam community about breaking a poor mindset. And here are some of the key principles.
This is key.
Yeah, breaking poor mindset. And this is very, very important, because we battle those inner voices and that negative talk in our heads sometimes. Overcoming mediocrity starts with facing our biggest competition, ourselves. 100%. The potential of achievements is dependent upon your belief systems. Our deepest aspirations become tied to what's embedded in the unconscious mind. The subconscious mind directs out all of our motives. We are entirely shaped by the things we believe. Walk yourself through a scenario and think about its worst case. Now let's begin to analyze how you can shape the outcome of that situation in your mind. Post up, and this takes part of what you were mentioning earlier, Aki. Post up positive visuals, sticky notes, photos, positive reminders, vision boards in areas where you spend the most time in. Post them around your home, your mirror, and your workplace. Create a sense of awareness around the thoughts you have about yourself. Repeat affirmations out loud that speak to how great you are. Remember, God ordained you for his mission because you are a child of royalty. You are equipped, intelligent, beautiful, strong, and courageous. Creating new thoughts expand the gray matter of your mind, changing the biology of the brain plasticity. Mindfulness is a practice in which consciously increases awareness. The law of I probably ain't gonna pronounce that right, but ensures that when we open ourselves up to help someone else, like we mentioned earlier, our hands are open to receive. This is called, that's what it was. This is called the law of reciprocation. There's a lot there that we can expound on, but there's a lot that we can expound on there. But breaking that poor mindset is very, very important. And those are just some of the ways to do it, where if we just break it down simply, posting up positive visuals, speaking good affirmations, creating new thoughts that expand your gray matter of your mind, changes the biology of your brain. That's so crazy.
Basically, it's saying you can heal yourself.
You can heal yourself.
That's exactly what that statement is saying. Is basically, if you change and if you give your mind the option of having fresh new ideas to think about in a positive manner, then the chemicals in your body that your body produces naturally, the hormones in there, will then change your body type, and it'll adjust it and maneuver it to the point where now it has to operate in this manner versus what it was operating in before. So it's always good to tell yourself you can do something versus you can't do something, because if you tell yourself you can do it, your body will equip itself with the ability to do it.
2 years ago on the vision board, Aki, I put down, I wanted to create a community. Didn't know how I was going to do it. And look, we got the Soul Fam community. We got Soul Fam merch. Did I know it was going to be from TikTok? Absolutely not.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Now we got a Discord of almost 150 people.
Look at that.
You know what I'm saying? We go into something called high level conversation during lunch to converse about all things, all walks of life, trials, tribulations, struggles, business, all kinds of different things. You know what I'm saying? And it's all walks of life from all different parts of the world, all going under one roof. You know what I'm saying? It's and that right there, I want to tell you guys, like he said, write down those 5 core things that are important to you, that relate to you, and you're more likely, 70% more likely to take action on them.
Yeah. And again, these are the things you want to just look at and always be looking at to keep your mind focused on them. You get what I mean? Like it's like you're giving yourself what to think about and how to create new ideas. So therefore you can put forth the action to manifest them. So, that's kind of where I was getting at with that one. And this ain't there. Don't rush it. Don't take your time. Like really take your time.
Take your time. That's your legacy.
Yeah. Like identify things that you would want to keep on your mind every day. Like what, and then make an umbrella out of it. Like this is the top thing. Family, of your family. What do you want to be thinking about of your family all day? You know what I'm saying? How much you love them, what you want to get them, what you want to do for them, what trips y'all can go on, what fun activities y'all can have, what's going to be for dinner. You know what I'm saying? Should we go get ice cream because it's hot? There's just those different things. Like if that's what you're thinking about all day is your family. You know what I'm saying? Again, you're thinking about your hobby or whatever your hobby is, you know what I'm saying? Pictures, photos, music, painting, whatever the case, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? If this is what you want to be thinking about every day, then put it up and put this is what you're going to be thinking about every day. And because there's so many different ways of thinking about something, so many different ways. Like I was explaining the other day in Shabbat, man, like you literally, the way Yahweh has it set up is that what makes us unique and what makes us so the way we are and articulate and arrange the words we do is because when you go look at a word, you study that word. Studying that word means you go look up the word's definition, then you look up the word's synonyms, then you look up those synonyms definitions, and then those definitions of those, you look up the synonyms for that, then you look up the etymologies of it, which is the origin of where it originated from, and then you go look up what it means in the spiritual aspect versus the so now you just taken one word and went and studied and found all of these different aspects of it, and you can talk about these different things, like the word eye or vision. If you go look up the word vision says to have the ability to see. If you go look up the word see means the ability to perceive or to understand, to grasp. Man, you can literally continue to keep going on down the thing, and now you go from one idea, one vision. Now you have 15 million different ideas from it because it's like a tree. It's spreading out like a web. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For the place. So though that's what in meaning of that when it comes down to this and your legacy. Think about it, what it is that you really want to, what's important, and then try to think about those things every day. And whatever you have to do to accomplish the goal of it, or what, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is. Like I'm being vague because I want, this is not just, I'm not trying to be specific to someone.
Right.
For, how do I climb out of debt type of that. I'm not telling you, I'm not giving you specific lane. I'm telling you, here's an idea. Here's a basis of the start for that, and then you now are in control. Now I've given you a wheel and a piece of paper and said, here's your destination. How you get to that destination is depending upon you. You are now the person to guide yourself in that, but you know where you're going now.
Definitely love that, Aki. This one's gonna be unique because I found it unique when I read this part in this particular chapter of the book. There is something called healthy narcissism.
I like that.
Healthy narcissism. So toxic narcissism occurs when an individual makes themselves feel as if they are a victim. We know that. On the contrary, healthy narcissism occurs as a result of placing other people's intentions, well-being, and success before your own to help them achieve a goal, so everyone wins. So healthy narcissism occurs as a result of placing other people's intentions, well-being, and success before your own to help them achieve a goal, so everyone wins.
Sounds like a leader.
Sounds like us, Aki.
Sounds like the visionary. Sounds like somebody
us.
who can see something in others and know and wants them to fulfill it, and by them fulfilling theirs, you have been fulfilled in yours.
100%. 100%.
I
And
like
that's
that.
healthy narcissism,
I
Aki.
like healthy narcissism.
Healthy narcissism.
That's just, but when you said healthy narcissism, I know some people was like, how can you
How
say
can we
that?
say-
How
Yeah,
you-
yeah. Because even when I read it, I was like, healthy narcissism. It's
because
something-
because everything has had because
right. It's always had a negative connotation to it. Yeah.
But when you think it's almost like, I'll put it to you like this. Here's a comparison. If you compare healthy narcissism to what you think you understand about it, but versus what it means, it's like comparing somebody. It's like comparing to somebody who says they're confident, but you're mistaking it as cocky
Or arrogant.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So you
good point.
That's what when you said healthy narcissism, that's what made me go, oh, somebody who's hella confident, and that's what came up in my mind.
Yeah.
I
For
thought
sure.
about, like, oh, he's
sure.
talking about a super confident person, but now to hear that to be a healthy narcissism, you're going not only. You're going beyond your confidence level to the point where you have so much confidence that you're throwing it at everybody else to boost theirs.
Yeah. And I mean, we do that every day. If you think about it, us as fathers, us as husbands, us as, brothers, or whatever the case may be, siblings to other siblings, we do it every day. You know what I mean? When you think about some of the people that we have around us, like, you do it for your brother.
Yeah.
When he's musically in the studio, you're giving him the confidence he needs to lay down those tracks because you know his ability and his potential, and you're gonna cheer him on and be like, yo, or you're gonna even be like, you can do that again, do the takeover. It could sound better. You know what I'm saying? So that's healthy narcissism at its finest.
Oh man,
you know what I mean?
I love having that characteristic about myself and those who are around me with that same one. Because I mean, that's it's not a simple thing to do. Well, I won't say a simple thing to do. It is not a simple way of carrying yourself. You have to have a certain mindset to carry yourself in that manner, to be able to want to help someone out or help, lift someone up who is having a little trouble lifting themselves up. It takes a lot. You know what I mean? It takes a lot. I just seen on the news the other day, this girl, she was vlogging her life, and a homeless man ended up asking her for something, so she ended up vlogging her interaction with him and things like that. Turn around, end up raising $400 and something thousand on GoFundMe, and then now the person she raised the money for is disappeared, no longer here, and now that person's family is asking her for money. Like, it was a crazy situation. It's just she did the most best deed she could do, but I guess who she did it for wasn't it. And then what happens is they started to find out this man had a violent past and things like that. That's why he was homeless and stuff. So it was just, what I'm saying, it was just different. But still think about it. Look at her positive narcissism, her narcissistic mindset. She's, instead of making fun of the dude and not, she helped get this man some food and I think he has some medication or something he needed or something like that. But she, helped this dude out, vlogged the whole thing, and then again, like I said, raised money on GoFundMe for almost $500,000, bro.
Crazy.
Like, I'd be afraid to go do a GoFundMe account, you know what I'm saying, for me, but I'd be like, I'm ready to make a GoFundMe account that needs help on bills. Like, I need help on rent. I will be homeless in 2 months.
Listen.
Be on rent.
Right.
How much money I can raise.
Listen, I done see some crazy things on TikTok. People hit you with all kinds of crazy different tactics on trying trying to get to the bag and trying to help them get. And listen, I would love to help the world, but I got to get into that position first before I can help the world.
Yeah, I can't help the world if I ain't in position to help.
And I ain't position first.
Yeah.
Here it says, it's important to become aware of emotion. I like this one. This because this one made me think about some of the things that emotionally trigger me. So it says, it's important to become aware of emotional triggers. Take inventory of your life, outlook, and current journey to lead you to self-discovery. Ask yourself questions as times when I'm at peace, environment that causes me the most stress when I'm involved. The moments I have the most joyful times are, when am I most fulfilled? When do I feel good about myself? Some emotional reactions, such as anger, are derived from an underlying belief. The iceberg theory states that everything seen on the surface has occurred as a result of something dwelling within inside us, of unresolved issues, beliefs, expectations, or traumas. The theory concludes 10% of socially acceptable behaviors are revealed through emotional response. 90% of our reactions stem from an underlying condition or unresolved problem. To overcome something, you have to address the issue that hides beneath the surface. So it's stating that when we get angry, Aki, it's literally things that we haven't chosen to recover from yet.
No, yeah, that is true. I mean, you for those who are parents, you think about it. When you really go back and you yell at your kid to stop, why do you think you yelled at them versus just telling them to stop or
Right.
raise your voice? The trauma,
because it's been done to us,
exactly,
just like that.
The trauma there is that it has been done to you. So when you can take the time out to find a different way to approach the situation, then a lot of times you can, it changes. You don't have to yell. So you know what I'm saying? So sometimes, but I'll say this, when it comes down to parenting, I'm not saying don't yell at your children. I'm serious, Aki, because I'm not condoning, actually
discipline.
But what I'm saying when it comes down to disciplining is that, sometimes think about it like this. If you're so busy doing something in your head and stuff like that, and somebody's trying to catch your attention, if you're in your head, or like I got headphones on, if I got my music up real loud, somebody's calling me, I can't hear them. The only way that they will be able to get my attention is if they tap me on my shoulder. So in that same context and perspective is if you have to spank your child or pop your child on the hand to catch their attention because they're obviously their attention is somewhere else, then I condone that. I don't condone, I'm saying that now. I don't condone beating on,
Right. Over excessing abuse.
No.
Right.
It's just like if you're playing basketball and since you're not paying attention, somebody throws and passes the ball, you get smacked upside the head with it. You know what I'm saying? But it was an accident. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's part of playing the game. You're gonna get hit with the ball. So all I'm saying is that you have to be able to do what is necessary in those manners, and a lot of times this is what we have. This is what we deal with. You know what I'm saying? This is what life gives us. Sometimes we have to go to those necessary extremes just to be able to change something, because those traumas that we deal with, or those traumas that we have the ability to change them. But we must first, again, like you said, and like it states in the book, become aware of it. You have to be aware of it.
Definitely. And then you have to find ways to recover from it. You know what I mean? So that way your reactions become, what's the word I'm looking for? You just want your reactions to be better from previous reactions. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you handle the situations better if they were to occur in your life again? Because some things happen. For instance, like right now, I'm trying to recover and rebuild a relationship with my mom again, right? And since coming down here, it's been a battle of trying to make amends, not only with my mom for her mistakes, right? But also make amends with, somebody who she currently loves. You know what I mean? Because me and him don't get along, right? Or he doesn't get along with me, or whatever the case may be, like, because we've bumped heads plenty of times, you know, and you know some of the stories behind the scenes that I mentioned to you. So like recently, I you know, I wanted to be the bigger individual, and I wanted, you know, I went over there, and you know, I saw her, I gave her a hug or whatever. We had a Father's Day dinner outing and stuff like that. And I seen him, and I shook his hand, said Happy Father's Day. Hope he had a good, you know, hope he has a good day, or whatever the case may be. And then I get a text message from her stating that I wasn't going to be allowed to go to my uncle's birthday celebration that they were going to celebrate at her house, because he still wasn't ready to see me. You know what I'm saying? That he wasn't ready to make full amends. And it emotionally triggered me in the moment. My response wasn't well to it. But then I took a step back, and I just told her, I said, you know what? It'll probably be best at this point that I just choose to stay away. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to continue to knock on the door on something that is not saying unrecoverable and can't be fixed, but like, I'm not going to continue to be the person that is always constantly knocking on that door if that person doesn't want to build a relationship anymore moving forward. You know what I mean? True. So she asked me, she was like, is this going to affect our relationship? And I said, to some degree, it always will, because now every time we have a family gathering, I have to go to somebody else's house because I'm not allowed over there, right? Because he doesn't want me there. Or you're going to have to meet me somewhere else, and he's not going to want to be there because I'm there. So of course it's going to affect us. You know what I'm saying? So I told her, I said, I want us to have a good relationship, you know, parent to son, son to parent, or whatever the case may be. You can always come over here. But in order for the family to recover in its entirety, he's going to have to find a way to forgive the way I forgave him for all his actions. You know what I mean? Because I'm the type of individual, Aki, that I forgive for them and I forgive for myself, because I will never be, you can never grow if you hold on to that negativity. If you hold on to that all the time, you're constantly living in, like,
think about it, like,
that feeling is toxic, man,
because that holds weight. You're letting something,
there you go, it holds weight,
weigh you down. If you don't let that thing that weigh you down, then you continue to float all the way up.
Yeah. So, you know, I my last thing to her was, you know, I hope my uncle has a great celebration, or whatever the case may be. I think I got a text after that stating that he wanted he was considering for me to go by there for the celebration, but at that point I was already like, don't worry, don't force him to do something he really isn't ready to do. Let him do it on his own time. You know, I'll see my uncle some other time, I'll celebrate with him, you know, our way. You know what I mean? I'll go meet him somewhere and we'll go to the bar or something and have a good time. But you know, right now, just let him have his space that he needs. And if it never recovers, it never recovers. You know what I mean? And I'll have to live. We all gonna have to live with that.
You can't, like you said, you forgive for them and for yourself, but you got to look at it like this, man. If everybody's wanting to always hold on to something that has no purpose in it, then, you know, it's all right. If you don't want to if you want to recover it, then don't be upset. Don't be upset when you are not invited to the celebrations all over, because you didn't recover your, you know what I'm saying, or do your part for it. Because at the end of the day, you know, it's unfortunate, but, you know, it's looking bad that we're divided. So many people are.
It's Aki. It kills me. It kills me to know
so bad
that I don't have the same, you know, like I'll go, you know, we'll use this as an example. You know, everybody for the most part has a very, very loving, undeniable, you know, love for their parents, right? In some shape or form, whether it's they're super close, the daughter's super close to the father, and the sons are super close to the mother, right? For the most part, right? But for me, Aki, I don't have that with my parents. I really don't. You know what I mean? And it's very unfortunate that those are the circumstances, but I utilize that feeling so that my children don't ever have to go through that. So I'm able to take something negative and turn it into something positive. Do I want to have that with my parents before they go? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I would love to have that.
I mean,
I'm hoping one day we will.
It's your children too. Think about your
Yeah.
children is not being able to really get a good grip on their grandparents and
On their
some
grandparents, even. You
people-
know what I mean? I even and it makes me you know, because I also ponder about that too. It's like, does this man even have any consideration for that? Because that's huge for me, Aki.
I know.
That my son is almost 16
Mhm.
and he's like, he knows now more than ever. He's like, Dad, I don't want to go over there if you're not over there. I don't feel comfortable. He doesn't want to go over there.
See?
If they have a function and I'm not allowed over there, what does my son look like? He's having a good time and he's looking around. He's like, where's my father? Like, my father should be here with me. You know what I mean? That's how my son looks at it. He's grown enough. He's at that age where he knows, like, you know, he's making his own little young decisions. You know what I mean? And I can't take that away from him. So if he feels uncomfortable, I got to let the grandmother know, like, hey, you know, you can see them, but just know that he's not going to want to go over there until this whole thing is patched up. You know what I mean? And it's, you know, it's difficult, Aki, but at the same time, I just have to find my peace with it, because if I don't, I'm just, like you said, I'm just going to let it weigh me down, you know. And I wanted to be transparent with the people that run this back, so that way, again, they can see the rawness in that. Even behind the scenes, we're all facing something.
That's what makes us unified, man. That's why this podcast exists. It's not just about you being unified in media or something like media based or anything. Like, it's just a simple fact that we're bringing you from a media standpoint unification in different aspects and forms of how we're all unified. You know, and because it's the same thing like that. Like I don't have I have two grandparents left of the 4 grandparents that I've had. Right. I only met 2 of my great grandparents of the 4 great grandparents that I have, right?
Right.
I only had met 2 of them. Excuse me, of the 6 grandparents, great grandparents. I only met 2 of my great grandparents, which was my dad's mom, my dad's mom, and then my dad's mom's mom. I only met those 2 great grandparents, right? And so the same thing happened with my dad. Like, my dad, we're not that far away from each other, but my dad and my children haven't seen each other as consistently maybe as they would like to, but is due to life situations. And, you know, people have felt some type of way about that because of it. And I'm just like, I can't, we all had to like kind of look at it like, you know, I get that that's what y'all on, but y'all not looking at it from my perspective and what I'm dealing with and stuff like that. So, you know, we found a way to kind of like
find a medium.
Yeah. And we found a way to kind of like work it out to where you know, now nobody has to be in feeling some type of way, because at the same time, it's just like, I don't think, no, we didn't want it to get to that level, but at the same time, it's just like all of this is you got. It's like they forget this is brand new. All of this stuff is new to me, so I'm figuring out how to navigate, govern, control.
Right, as you go. There's no rule book. There's no pamphlet. There's nothing.
No, and I'm not the type that will sit there and be. I'm not about to be on the phone with my parents every day asking them how they did this, how they did this, how they did that. I'm actually the one person trying to figure out some stuff. So I you know what I'm saying, like, I want my parental experience to be what my parental experience is.
Right.
What I'm dealing with. So so for a while, you know, that relationship, you know, was kind of like it was hurting right there because of some stuff like that. And
right,
I wasn't tripping off of it, but it still was one of those things where it was just like it hurt because you know, I thought about something like this a long time, even before having kids, and for something like this to have manifested in a way, it didn't go super sideways, but it did make me realize, like, you know, the one thing that I didn't want to happen still happened because, you know, trauma.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Past trauma. So
Definitely.
fixing the past trauma now, so it don't have to occur in that manner. And it sucks because, like, my two kids have great grandparents now, and I want them to meet their great grandparents, because I met my great grandparents probably they probably passed away. After I remember, from what I remember meeting them, one grandparent I was only 7, and she passed away when I had turned like 9. No, yeah, 9. The other grandparent I had got to spend some time with, but she passed away probably when I met when I was the same age, about 7 to 8, and she passed away when I was 12 or 13, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And those were my only two great grandmothers that I got to meet, which were very cool because they, you know what I'm saying, they definitely told me some things that, you know, our history books are lying about. I went to school, they definitely told me some things that our history books was not telling the truth on, which makes it cool. You know, and that's why it's important that children speak to their grandparents and or have
Definitely that experience is one of a kind. You're talking about, you know, anywhere between 80, you know, 70 to 100 years old of life experience. You know what I mean? You're not going to get that nowhere else, and they can give you something valuable that no one else is ever going to give you. And then if you take that value and you take it dear hearted and you hold on to it and you utilize it, you can do some very special things. Before we head out, you know, I want to say rest in peace to my wife's grandmother, my children's great grandmother, who just passed away, almost 100 years old, died in her sleep, natural causes. Her name was Sylvia. She just passed, you know, a couple days ago. And, you know, it's moments like that, Aki, that makes you realize when it happens that close to home, how sensitive life is. That one day, you know, we were on video with her, you know, she was saying our name. You know, she was sending out her, you know, her last well wishes to us, telling us, you know, all the things, giving us her wisdom. And, you know, and it was crazy because I was on social media today and somebody hopped in the room named Sylvia. Right? Never happened, Aki, in the last 9 months that I've been on that TikTok craziness, right? And Sylvia comes in, and it put a smile on my face because I know spiritually that was her letting me know something. You know what I'm saying? They have a unique way of you know, communicating with us. And you know, we ended up doing a little shrine for her. I lit up a candle, I put some flowers. She was always about her money. She was somebody that was always about her money. So we threw some money under her flowers, and we said a prayer. And it was tough for like the first 2 to 3 days when it really resonated with us and really hit us. And then my wife started going through the motions. But that's to say all this, you know, appreciate being able to wake up, open up your eyes again, and being able to get to it. Appreciate your loved ones, hug your children. You know, that's why I had that you know, I even had that conversation with my mother when my mother was texting me. I was like, you know, life is so short and so precious. Why are we going to continue to live out the rest of our lives bumping heads? You know what I mean? Do we really want to go to the grave like that with that turmoil? No, you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to lose her, you know, God forbid. And, you know, and we never got to recover, per se. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let that shit go. Let it go. Just let it go. And let's get past this and let's enjoy each other's company.
Man,
but
that's
you know, You know what I mean? But definitely a special episode, Aki. There
Mhm.
was a lot to take from Living to Legacy, breaking the barriers of mediocrity. We touched based on a lot of different things, things that we've touched base on previous episodes. I want to thank everybody that tapped in: Riri, Linda, 65 Rose Athletics, Lorena Anderson, DJ Wells, and everybody who locks in with us on a daily basis and weekly basis. You know, and again, Aki, I appreciate you know, what we've been able to establish and create here. I know that there's a possible chance, Ak, through this summertime, I might be taking a trip out your way. So I'll let you know if we do touch base out there. You know, we can definitely meet in person.
Please.
You know, I know you'll definitely be one of the first stops that I'll make, you know what I mean, to tap in with the family and stuff like that. So I'll let you know if that trip definitely goes down. Because my wife likes to she likes to at least take a big trip or two each summer or whatever the case may be. And we were considering going to the West Coast. So if that definitely happens, I'll keep you in tune.
Look, you know, we got some of the beautiful beaches around.
Oh, listen, Aki, we ain't got no beaches out here. We got lakes, so we definitely gonna need some sand, bro.
Yeah. Oh,
We
yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
definitely need
The
some
lakes is
sand.
different. The lakes is different.
The lakes is different out here, man, but we ain't got no beaches, no nothing, man. So we're gonna definitely appreciate some sand and some clear water. So
Yes,
but it
sir.
was definitely a pleasure tapping in with you, Ak.
Ready.
We'll be back next Sunday for episode 9. I'll follow up with you midweek to see where we're at in terms of a particular topic. And you know, sending love, light, abundance, prosperity,
Yes, sir.
and good health to
course,
you
of
and your
course.
Family.
Thank you, man.
And be safe out there, Aki. Be safe. I know it's crazy on the West Coast. It's crazy everywhere, but definitely be safe out there.
Nah, I appreciate
Definitely
that. Well,
be
you know,
there.
right now, we got something going on the West Coast. That's you know, our spirit is up right now. Kendrick came and did.
I see that. I see he's going. Yo, he is. Didn't he? And you could tell me probably better than anybody, but on his pop culture, that pop out show, did he bring the Bloods and the Crips together on stage? Like, were they there celebrating with him, singing and all that?
When I tell you the celebrities of some of the hoods that are out here were on stage with Kendrick.
Crazy.
They were from different hoods, different sets.
Love that, man. He's
blood,
definitely bringing unification. That's
more,
what Pac wanted to see.
Yeah. No, because that's his image. He's like a little Pac protege. You know what I mean? Like, and then because his birthday is the day after Tupac. So
Gotcha.
Tupac birthday is June 16th. Kendrick's is June 17th.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, you know, West Coast right here. This is what we doing right now. But now I just want to say too, Aki, that this episode definitely was special because it aligned with what I had already been thinking about. And you know, we didn't even discuss really what we were gonna
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's always unscripted.
Yeah, so
always unscripted.
Things to be aligned the way they align, it only can tell you that God is real. You know what I'm saying? And
definitely.
You know, again, I want to leave you all with, again, man, find 5 to 10 most important things in your life, write them down, and try to figure out a way to keep them on your mind every day when you wake up until you close your eyes. Think about those things, different variations of those things. What can you do to accomplish some of those things, or what can you do to continue to move forward? And
getting my master's put me at a level that, of course, more respect from the community, but also to look at myself with that level of respect and to say, I
don't know why that went off like that.
Yeah, it's all good.
Damn audio.
Because those I feel like those things can definitely help you out. It's helping me out. I have excuse me, certain things that I think about, so it doesn't take me away from what I'm supposed to think about. And I know that as long as I'm thinking about these things, I'm making the effort and putting in action behind these things that I'm thinking about. So therefore, I can continue to create my legacy. Legacy, again, is very vital, but also lethal. And you want to make sure that whatever you do, you create your legacy. It's always good to be on this stage with you, Aki, to share the stage with you, man.
Definitely.
You know,
Always a pleasure. Always an honor.
man, the blessing is like these people. I don't think these people really understand how blessed, you know what I'm saying, this is right here, and because of how it came together. This was not me. I've never seen this man before 2 years ago. I've never known who JR the Truth was before almost 3 years ago. This came together. This was needed for the culture. He always said, this is what's going to happen. This is where you sit at. This is where you're going to be at. This is who you are. This is what you're going to be doing. And this is who you're going to be working with. And I couldn't be more happier, proud, blessed, and thankful and grateful of this seat at this position, man. So
likewise, brother. Likewise.
Appreciate you, Aki.
More to come. More to come. Appreciate you, Aki. This is the rest of the piece of Leave a Legacy. Check this out.
I deserve to be in the room. Start your comeback today at PurdueGlobal.edu.
If you're getting ready to go on Medicare, here are 5 mistakes that you want to avoid. And trust me, you do not want to miss.
About legacy. Well, here's the thing I have to say to you. The thing you need to know is this. You are leaving a legacy whether you want to or not. Everybody in this room is going to leave a legacy. The question is, are you going to be intentional about the legacy you're leaving? Are you actually going to be intentional, or are you just going to let anything be passed down, anything be given to others on your behalf? Don't let it be so. It's like this past weekend, I went out to go preach. And when I went to go preach, I went into a city and I rented a car. When I went to the rental car, they said, go downstairs to the garage. You can grab any car. When I went down there were only 2 cars. There was one car that looked like it wouldn't make it past Monday. And then there was another car. So I went to this car. But when I got into the car smelled like cigarette smoke. And so I took off with the car because, I'm just like, hey, let me get out of here. And so I'm driving the car for a couple of days. When I bring the car back, drop off the keys, they say, hey, you have any problems with the car? I said, no problems with the car. They said, all right, cool. I leave. And they said, I looked on my email and they billed me $350. How you going to charge me? I've never smoked a day in my life. They said, sorry, sir, you brought the car back smelling like cigarettes. I said, no, I didn't bring the car back smelling like cigarettes. Y'all brought me a car that smelled like cigarettes. They said, no, all we know is that you brought us a car with cigarettes, so you have to pay the price. Can I tell you something? That is a picture of many of our lives. Some of us lived a life that stunk so bad. And many of you are paying a price for a life that you didn't live, but somebody lived before you, and they handed you down a name or a life that stunk so bad that now you got to pay forever for it. And I'm here to let you know, stop giving people this dirty, nasty, stinky life. Why don't you build a legacy so when somebody gets into the car of your life, they want to say thank you instead of, I can't believe what you did to me. Everybody here has struggled with an addiction that's not yours. It was an addiction that your family didn't deal with. It was an addiction that your father just overlooked. And so it got passed down to you. And now you're struggling with this addiction. But truthfully, if you track the addiction, your father had it, and your grandfather had it, and your great-grandmother had it, and your whole family had it. And because they didn't deal with it, because they weren't thinking legacy, now you're driving in a car that you got to pay for. And God is saying, the buck stops here, that this is it. I put you in the earth because you're about to stop some stuff.